Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Fresh Set. I'm Sabrina,
And I'm Kevin.
and we're back again.
No race.
No race. It is another week of no racing, and I think we still have one more week
We have
of
another
no
week. Yeah,
racing.
nothing. Yeah.
But we're here, and we are going to be talking about a little bit of news, a little bit of stats information that we've heard over the last
Yeah.
little bit, last week, I guess you would say, and then maybe a little bit of a game. So if you want to hang
I'm going to
around
test.
for that.
Yeah, I'm going to try and test Sabrina's knowledge or her
Oh God.
guessing skills.
Yeah.
See what we can come up with here.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But let's jump right into some F1 news of the last week.
Yeah. Which, I
Ish.
mean, admittedly, wasn't a lot.
No.
There was kind of piggybacking on what we talked about last week. It was. We had FIA President Ben. I'll just call him that because I don't feel like saying his last name. He's kind of playing the sob story in the media. Okay,
Yeah.
the woe is me.
Yeah.
Talking, and it was an interview. I can't remember which outlet it was, but it was an interview with somebody, and he had talked about Max has had his fair share of mistreatment from the media,
Yeah.
and to quote, but let's talk about me.
Yeah.
And talking
An
about
actual quote.
yeah,
That is no paraphrasing.
no, that's exactly what he said. He said, if you look at the British media and what they did to me, for God's sakes, they've convicted me. Like,
Yeah. It's a bit dramatic.
Admittedly, nobody, I mean, I know you've been in a position since, oh God, it's been a few years now as FIA president. But you haven't really been in the public eye very much or known to, I'm sure you were known to the public, but you weren't the face of the FIA until after Michael Massey was kicked out after 2021.
Really just in the last, and I mean, even last year we didn't hear too much about him. It's just been over the last little bit that his name has popped up a lot.
Yeah.
And we're seeing, and that interview was kind of piggybacking off all of the stuff that's gone on, which I'm not going to set you off, but
Please, come on.
Speaking about the language on the radios and wanting the drivers to censor themselves, basically. And so he's kind of saying, well, I was a driver and I know Max has had all these issues, but look at me.
Yeah.
Which is such a weird thing to say. Like, you're the president.
Yeah.
Like, get over it.
Yeah. Nobody's talking about you. Actually, the only thing we're talking about is not how are you governing, which is not in an agreeable fashion.
Yeah.
And then you're like, but stop, but listen, but think about me and my feelings.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud.
And so what is that? Like, what is that saying? Like, it's okay that Max is getting like brutalized in the media because you had it? Like, I didn't understand the point of him even saying that.
I think his feelings are hurt more than he's letting on because he says they have no power over me in the FIA. Well, okay. Clearly they do. It's something you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Clearly. And it's more, to me, it's more so of a way of him saying, well, look, they've hurt me, so you're not going to change my mind. So F you, I'm going to keep doing what I want.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's such a childish thing. Like, you were the president of this $1 billion organization that governs one of the most expensive sports in the world and highly visible sports in the world. Yeah.
And you were arguing about comments of a 29-year-old or 27-year-old driver.
And how the British, well, they're the media. Of course they're going to. They're going to give their opinions.
Yeah. And we know over the last few years, I mean, in Formula One, outside of Formula One, the British media hasn't been treating anybody really fairly. So, I mean, you're all on the same playing field.
I think it's not even necessarily fairly. I mean, maybe they do give a little more favoritism to British drivers, whether it's intentional or not. I mean, they are fans themselves.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as I can tell, in any kind of British media, especially in sport, doesn't matter if it's soccer, football, or cricket or whatever, they say what they feel.
Yeah.
They're not really going to hold back, and they
No.
shouldn't.
No.
That's what sport is for.
They're reporting on the story. This is the story. You are the story. You are asking for these changes by the drivers. You are creating this drama around yourself and your organization. People are going to report on
Yeah.
it.
And
So
especially when it comes to British media, there are no kids' gloves. There are none. Like, they will
there
tell you straight. They will
that is
tell you.
bare knuckle
They
boxing.
will tell you politely, maybe
Mhm.
sometimes,
Yeah.
but they will tell you straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's just odd comments. Again, like you said, childish. Like, they're not being nice to me.
yeah,
Like,
it's ridiculous. Absolutely
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyways,
Safe to say, we're probably never getting an invite anyway.
I was gonna say this is our hot take right now.
um, yeah, I mean, not
There's
really
that.
much else to say there.
Yeah.
One thing that came out again this week was the amount of wins between drivers.
Mhm.
It's just been a stat around.
Yeah.
Wins between drivers since Max Verstappen came into a Red Bull. So he was in Toro Rosso, but when he went into Red Bull in 2016,
Yes.
um, we have Max with 61 wins since he came in, and obviously largely in the last since 2021.
Yeah.
Lewis with 62, and every other driver combined that's raced since 2016, 57.
Which is an insane stat.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Like,
they're over, like, if you parse that out
insane.
evenly, that's a 33%, and they're well over both of those. Not well over, but they are
Yeah.
by a substantial amount. A few races.
Yeah. And I mean, you have Lewis and Max, I mean, taking everybody else out. Lewis or Max, sorry, has done those 61 races that he's won in half the time he's been like that Lewis has been
Yeah.
in Formula 1. So, I mean,
Well,
numbers don't lie.
and the debate, or not debate, the complaints, excuse me, from last year where, oh, it's so boring, Max is winning. Well, you look at Lewis. I mean, I know, okay, it's spread over the same amount of time,
Yeah.
but I mean, Max's 23 wins, 22 wins, sorry, last year, came from just 1 year. So he still had,
Yeah.
what's that? What's that math there? 39 wins, something like that.
Sure.
Something, yeah, we'll say that. 39 wins over the last since 2016, where Lewis would have had 62.
Yeah.
So anybody that says, I know, yeah, last year was, I wouldn't say boring, but there were a lot of other headlines that we were focused on, other than
Yeah.
who was winning the race.
Yeah.
But you look at it's just that Lewis's name wasn't said in the same amount of consecutive times.
No. I mean, that's really what it comes down to is they're on par in terms of numbers when you look at it like that. And when you look at it that I'm the number of drivers that have been again still there since 2016, the same time that Max joined, that they've only been able to collectively
Yeah.
come up with 59 wins. That just shows Max's strength and Lewis's
Oh, of course.
strength and
And
dominance.
their teammates. Like, Perez obviously couldn't
Yeah.
get anywhere near that. Can't sniff any of
No.
those. Excuse me. Who was it? Ricardo, Albon in a Red Bull couldn't do it.
Bottas.
Bottas, Rosberg. Rosberg was 2016, so
Yeah.
those ones. Actually, that's the one he won, and then he left, so he's gone.
Yeah.
Bottas
Lewis is one.
and George, yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't come anywhere close.
No.
Anywhere close.
No. And I think this kind of goes to what we had said last week, or what you had said last week is, Daniel's stats of 8 wins, and okay, not all of them were with Red Bull, but
Majority, I believe it was
the majority of them were. I mean,
at least
he only had
6.
one with McLaren.
Yeah, he had one with McLaren, and I
Um,
don't believe he had one with Renault.
I
So
don't think so.
it might have been 7 with
Yeah.
Red Bull.
So, I mean, when you start to look at the numbers like that, like we said last week, his numbers aren't so bad.
No,
His numbers of 8
no.
wins are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So but yeah, interesting to see it, and like you said, it's something that has been around for a while, but it kind of just reared its head this week again.
Yeah.
Um, we're getting close to the end of the season. Everybody's pulling out their stats.
Well, and if you
Uh,
think like, there are probably I can probably point to about 3 or 4 of those wins where Bottas is in the lead and they're asking to switch with Lewis.
yeah,
Like they're just given to him.
yeah,
Not given to him. I mean, he's in second.
there, yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. I mean,
uh,
they tried it with Rosberg, which we've talked about.
and that's not happening. No.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
one piece of news that I had was that, or that I don't know if you saw it. Will Buxton did an interview on a
Didn't that's it.
podcast in the last week, or it came out in the last week. He still thinks Lando will win this year's championship.
Ooh.
And this goes to the
Whoa.
math that you brought up a couple episodes ago, that he needs to
Well, the math
outscore.
the math is closer. Like it needs
Yeah.
to work a lot more into Lando's favor now. I think the math
Yeah.
has to work. I mean, now it's not just enough for Lando to win or maximize every point every weekend, because he would still lose by 1 point essentially
Yeah.
if Max came in second. He needs Max
Right.
to have not even a bad weekend, but just not a great
He
couple
needs to
weekends.
DNF, like, or finish outside of the points.
Not even that. I mean, you finish if Lando can on a particular weekend can win the race, even if he gets a fast lap or not. If he finishes 5th or 6th, gets whatever, gets a flat and comes back out, and he gets to finish in 5th or 6th, and he's got 10, 12 points, maybe 15 points on Max.
Yeah.
He needs some help. He needs Max. He needs to hope that either the upgrades that they're bringing this in the rest of the season are phenomenal, or that any upgrades that Red Bull brings are another step back, or Magnussen goes on a tear. Magnussen becomes that wrecking ball we've all expected it to be in the last 6 races.
Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible, and
No.
Will Buxton did say that. He said, it's not impossible. It's difficult. It is difficult, but anything's possible. Anything kind of seems possible at this point.
Well, what scares me now is that, I mean, we've had, is it 8 races or 9 races now without even a safety car? A full safety car hasn't been brought out, which, can work to somebody's favor depending on what position they're in, or their detriment if they're in first or whatever.
Yeah.
We haven't seen one. It doesn't seem like anybody since Canada has been really driving to a limit where they're going to be an issue, or they're going to create problems for themselves. We've seen close,
right?
Yeah. But we haven't seen a lot of people taking a lot of unnecessary risks.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen virtual safeties, we've seen yellow flags at the end, but we haven't seen the car come out.
Yeah,
and that's the factor. And there's been a few races that we've had that 100% safety car.
Yeah, there's been like 2 in the last 6 races.
That over the last 10 years they've had 100% of safety cars at least.
Yeah,
and we're not seeing that.
Nope.
The last 6 races are, the weather is questionable in some of these spots. So, I mean, anything's possible.
Well, and usually you see somebody crack, and we saw it last year with George in Singapore. Like, when you're fighting for something, we're pushing it to the limit. You're taking every centimeter, every inch, every kilometer per hour you can.
Yeah.
The only one that I feel would have the need to want to push it that hard is going to be Lando, because he is the one who's going to want to be out in first, unless for some reason he can get out in first and build that lead. He's going to be the one that's going to be pushing the hardest over these last 6 races.
Yeah. And Lando can make mistakes when he pushes too hard.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody can. That's
can.
not just a Lando thing.
No, but you see it less from a Lewis or a Max.
Yes.
right? And you
Yeah.
see more of that inexperience from Lando or maybe Piastri. You've seen it from Russell. You
Yeah.
know, there's a few. There's a
Yeah.
few.
Because I mean, even the Singapore race in 2023, like you said, George on the last lap lost it, hit the
And
wall.
the
But
lap before
Lando,
that, yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Lando admitted, "Oh, I hit the wall
He
too."
touched the wall too. Yeah, just the lap
So,
before that, and it was
yeah,
just enough to keep on track.
yeah. And then they showed the replay, and you actually see Lando just kiss it, and
Yeah, and
George just
you
hit
see that poop come right out of his tailpipe. It just
exactly, just right through. But I mean, yeah, I think this is my prediction. Over the next 6 races,
we're just adding on predictions here.
this is just the general
This is just
prediction.
for fun.
This is just for fun. I think the McLarens are going, and I don't mean McLaren as the team, I mean the 2 drivers, Lando and Oscar, are going to make a mistake on track with each other.
Oh, you think they're going to come
And
together?
yes. And I think we're going to have either one or a double DNF for McLaren. I think Oscar, as much as he's now helping, um,
Too
he's still
little, too
pushing.
late. Yeah.
He's still pushing. And he is in the fight for, what did we say, third? I think his
I
numbers
mean,
could have
he's
him end up in third.
technically not out of the championship race, but he is
No,
still fighting for. Yeah, I mean,
I think his
realistically,
numbers
it's
could,
between him and Charles for third.
yeah,
Realistically, although Charles is quite close to Lando as well.
yeah.
Um, so I mean, everybody
So,
still thinks they have a shot at the championship.
yeah.
I mean, you never
So
know. Yeah.
that's my little prediction is that the McLarens are going to come together in one, maybe two of these last few races. Um, and it's not going to be pretty. And it's just going to end the
Mm,
championship run.
interesting.
Hot take,
Interesting.
prediction.
See, I still think that. I mean, I think Lando will miss out by somewhere
One
within
point.
somewhere within the 10 point within 10 points,
Yeah.
which will bring into question their decisions with Oscar over the last. Like, what
Yeah.
did we say? We said 7 points. We said
Yeah.
7 points. If he comes within seven, was it 7 points? Even at
If
10
he comes
points,
within 7 points.
that would have been Lando's
Yeah.
championship. But anyway, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
That thing. But if you think they're going to double DNF, that puts their.
Maybe double DNF.
Well, you
Okay, I
you
said
can't
it.
put out
I
a
said
hot
it.
take and take
I
it back.
said it.
And it's not a
I
hot
said
take; it's a lukewarm take. It doesn't work.
it. Okay, I'm saying there's a
If you
double DNF.
if you think there is a double DNF, that brings their constructors title into question, right? If you're going to miss out on potentially what could be 47 points,
Mhm.
um, I do that math right? 45 points? No, it's 25 and 20,
Sure.
53 points. Sorry.
Whatever math you do,
43,
it's right.
43. Sorry, 43, 25 and 18. 43 points. If you lose out on that potential. Yeah, that brings your world constructors into
Yeah.
question there.
Yeah.
Which, and I brought this up to you, the last time that McLaren had won a world constructors championship was quite a long time ago. It
Really?
was, I don't remember exactly what year it is. I don't have it here. Oh, that's weird why they wouldn't put it here. So however old Lando is, it was a year before he was born. So he's 23, 25 years ago, 23
Wow.
years ago, 24 years ago. How old is he?
20 something years
Yeah,
ago.
he's in low 20s. He's young.
Yeah. I don't
William,
think he's 25 yet, but
Williams were the reigning champions. This one, none of the current grid had driven an F1 car yet. That's including Alonso or Lewis. That's how long it's been. Nobody on the current grid had driven an F1 car. Oscar wouldn't have been born for another 2.5 years.
Since the last time McLaren won.
A world championship, yeah.
Wow.
Red Bull was still Stewart and Mercedes were still Tyrrell. So they weren't even in F1 yet. Sauber was sponsored by both Red Bull and Petronas.
Oh.
Max was just a year old. McLaren signed Lewis as a junior driver the last time they won.
Wow. So he's what? He was like 13
He's
or
40
something?
now, right? Yeah, probably, yeah.
I think he was 13 or something when he signed?
Fernando Alonso was still racing in go-karts, in karts.
No.
Yeah. He was. He
No.
was still in karting the last time they won. Alain Prost had the most F1 wins with F51.
Jeez.
Yeah, and Juan Manuel Fangio still had the most F1 drivers titles with 5. So that was the last time that McLaren won.
Wow.
We still didn't have all those records from Schumacher. We still didn't even have Hamilton or Alonso in there. It's been a long, long time. And
Since
if
they
you're going to
won
take that
a
away from them, you're going to take that away from them.
I'm like, we're not gonna do it. Wow. Maybe I
Yeah.
shouldn't have you should have said that before I put that out there.
No. See, I want.
Just
It was time. I timed that one out for myself, just for my
Oh,
amusement.
wow. Well,
Yeah, think about that. That both their drivers weren't even born.
I mean, yeah, their drivers are young,
Their
but
drivers are
still.
young, but to
But still. Yeah.
not even have anyone that's driven now ever have even been in an F1 car.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I did actually see, speaking of Lando being young and karting and all that, I did see, I don't know if you saw this, that because Lando was driving in an age group up in karting, he was so good. He was the smallest, which we've all seen the pictures of Lando being like tiny on the podium.
Yeah.
So he was in a age group ahead, but he was so small that they had to Velcro him to his seat. He had a strip of Velcro
But what would the
on the
Velcro do if
back.
he flipped?
I just hold him in. I guess the
But
seat
you
was maybe
have
too big.
straps.
I guess the seat was
Did
still
they have to
too big
Velcro
for
some
him.
padding, like a booster seat, like
I
my
don't
son's
know.
booster seat?
They just had a picture and like it's like a skunk line like right down his back was Velcro.
That is bizarre.
And
But
here he is.
here's the thing. Okay, so I mean, being a dad, or we put my kids in stuff, and there's always a talk of, can they play year up or whatever, and I get that, especially when you're trying to put them into like hockey or baseball. Kids are bigger and stronger, or
Yeah.
whatever. When you're racing, I would feel like being a year up, yes, you might not have that amount of experience, but wouldn't that work to your advantage? You're
Yeah,
lighter
you're
in the car.
faster.
Yeah, you're lighter in the
You're
car.
faster.
I mean, sure, maybe in karting you don't have that kind of weight to help you with the cornering,
Yeah.
but you're lighter. Like
Yeah.
you've got nothing
You're
to
just
you.
flying.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
That's
those straights would just be just hell on wheels.
maybe the Velcro was to like hold him down, like put weight in the car actually.
I
Like
could see it. Yeah, maybe keep his ass to the seat so he can
yeah,
actually take those corners. Yeah.
the aerodynamic of it. Yeah. So,
Oh, that's
but I saw
crazy.
that. I thought it was funny.
Well, speaking of another young driver, I just saw this today and I thought it was funny.
Okay.
I thought you'd get a good laugh out of this one. Um, Ollie Behrman on the Beyond the Grid podcast. They were talking to him about his first race last year in Jeddah, in the
Yes.
Ferrari, taking over for Sainz after he had his appendicitis. And so he says, first of all, they called my manager, but my manager ran out of credits on his phone. So he almost missed the race because his manager didn't have any more credit on his phone. Okay, I'm not European. I know there are a lot of people that put credit onto their phone, but if you're a sports manager, do you not have an unlimited plan? Do you not just pay for these things? Like, what? Could you
I
imagine?
mean,
That would be the quickest firing ever.
yeah. I mean, I didn't even know that was still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Gen Zs are going to be like, "What do
It's
you mean
still
putting credits on
it's
your
still a
phone?"
thing here. You can still. I saw
But
somebody the other day at the gas station.
really?
Yeah, you can still do it as a pay as
Oh,
you go plan.
I had no idea.
And
Huh.
I know it's a big thing. You can still do it, and I see a lot of people still do it. You go to the store, you get the convenience store, whatever. You buy your minutes, whatever. That's fine. But
I had no idea.
I'm
But as an
managing. If I'm
executive,
managing, yeah, if I'm managing talent, like sports talent, I'm not
yeah,
missing a call. I'm paying the extra to get, and it's not
yeah,
expensive. Like their phone bills traditionally to North American phone bills are nothing. They
that is
are
true.
absolutely nothing.
That is
And
true.
I get you want to get your espresso and your wine and you want to save all your money for all that shit, but you got a responsibility. I feel like Billy
Yeah.
Madison now. You got to find that fucking dog. Um,
Oh God.
Yeah, so I thought you might find that entertaining. I just
That's
thought that's crazy.
that's funny.
That's crazy.
But I mean, is it because like Bierman is 17 years old, not but no, the management companies are different. I was like,
Well,
it's
I
not
would
like he's
think.
getting
Well, I don't know. Here, when you're a manager, you usually manage a couple different people, right?
right,
Maybe not a whole ton of people, but maybe
right,
two, three, maybe four. You don't usually, unless you have the biggest star in the world, you're not
right.
going to be just focused on one person.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would have thought that, the manager's taking calls all day. Maybe that's why he ran out of minutes. But then you get a effing phone plan.
Yeah. Yeah. You imagine like Mark Webber, who is Oscar's
Yeah,
Oscar's
yeah.
manager being like, no,
He
can't
missed
call that
that
till
call. He
after
missed that
6.
call from. He missed that call from McLaren. It's like, we have no other offers. You better
Yeah.
sign with Alpine.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
crazy,
just funny.
crazy.
That is funny.
Um, you had something.
Did I?
Wow, you just blanked, didn't you?
I totally blanked. I don't
A
remember.
Canadian.
Oh, yes. Wait, what Canadian? Oh, Keanu Reeves.
Oh, oh, dying. I'm
Keanu
dying over
Reeves.
here doing this show by myself.
Keanu Reeves made his first driving it was his first race.
First driving race. Yeah,
His driving debut in I don't even know
the
what.
Toyota Gazoo Racing GR Cup North America 2024 finale
Yes,
in a
sure.
racing series.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is in a racing series. He is I mean, acting is not paying enough, so he
Well,
wants to be
he's an avid racer. I mean, he did
a
host
driver.
what was it called? The not Benetton. That three parts or that little docu series on Disney Plus.
Gran Turismo.
No, that's an actual movie. The one about
Oh,
they're
Braun.
Braun. That's the one. I
Yeah.
want to say Benetton, but it's obviously not
Yeah.
that. Braun. Yeah. I mean, he's an
Yeah.
avid racing fan.
Yeah.
So he did. I don't know if you actually saw pictures of the car. The livery on the
I
car
did.
looks
I did too.
great,
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, he's a big like comic book samurai
Yeah.
kind of fan, and so having that kind of look on the livery was pretty cool.
Yeah. And I
Uh,
mean, he's got all kinds of money to put into it too.
oh
So
yeah,
he's going to make it look however he
yeah,
wants.
oh absolutely,
So,
yeah. And then so that actually brought me to that and Apex coming out next year. Is it? Is it called
yes.
Apex?
Something like that.
Something like that. Anyways, the Brad Pitt movie. Actual famous people who have driven an actual race series. So this came up. So you haven't seen this.
No, I have not.
You haven't seen this. So first one we have is Michael Fassbender.
Really?
Raced with Elms in 24 hours of Le Mans with Porsche and a guest driver in the Porsche Super Cup.
Oh, he was a guest driver.
No, with Porsche and guest driver in Porsche Super Cup. So he's done
Oh.
24 Le Mans and the Porsche Super Cup.
Wow.
I mean, to go from movies to 24-hour Le Mans,
Yeah.
that's nuts.
That's
crazy.
Insane.
Frankie Muniz, you know who that is?
I do know.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle.
He competed in NASCAR in 2023 and 2024.
Why do I feel like I knew that? I feel like I knew that.
I didn't know he did it for 2 years. I knew he did it last year. I didn't know he was still in it this year.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that.
This one bothered me because the site that I got this from, it said Paul Newman, the voice of Doc Hudson in Disney's Cars. Paul Newman has been in so many other things. You put it as the voice of Doc Hudson. He's always been a car aficionado. That's why they have him as Doc Hudson in Cars. You idiots, you Gen Z fucks. So anyways, he competed in sports car races in the 60s and 70s, obviously.
Yeah. That's funny. From Cars.
From Cars, yeah. Patrick Dempsey, Grey's Anatomy.
Didn't know that.
He raced and had his own team in Le Mans with Porsche. Another Le Mans racer.
Interesting. He's in the Ferrari movie as a racer.
Was he in the Ferrari movie?
Yeah.
I watched it. I totally missed that.
He's like gray. So maybe you just didn't even realize
Maybe I didn't
it was
recognize him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously I didn't, but
yeah.
Steve McQueen, obviously we know, the Le Mans film star, raced and won the 12 Hour of Sebring in 1970. So we know Steve McQueen's obviously a big racer.
Yeah.
James Dean, obviously the American actor in the 50s, raced sports cars, but died in a car crash on his way to a race.
Oh,
He was on his way to a
didn't know
race
he
and he
was on the
died.
way to a race. I knew he
And
was in a
yeah,
car.
yeah. And those are some of the biggest names that we've had that have been,
Interesting.
yeah.
And now Keanu Reeves.
And now Keanu Reeves. Yeah. So that was a little interesting. I thought it would
And
be.
I guess Brad Pitt is gonna
Well,
fall in there as
Brad,
well.
see, but no, but he didn't write. He didn't race in a racing series. He was in a movie. These are people
True.
that are in actual races, and I'm sure
True.
Brad Pitt is in the car,
He's
and I'm
yeah.
sure they've got him going like 80 kilometers an hour because his
Yeah.
insurance won't let him go to 81.
Yeah. And it's a different it looks like a Formula 1 car. I'm sure the
Oh, there's
inside
not a
is
Formula
not.
One engine in there. There's no.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is one that has a Formula One engine, and they
Yeah.
had Lewis driving it,
Lewis
so he can
driving.
do all the actual. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
For
guaranteed.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, all
Yeah,
right.
that was that.
All
So,
right.
moving on from there, so we can have a little bit extra to talk about.
Yeah.
I want to kind of just throw to you some of our or so the top 10 drivers when it comes to points. Okay. Now, if I can just move this over here for
Okay.
a sec. Actually, I'm gonna put that there. Okay. Excuse me. I'll give you a couple that aren't in the top 10. So just where you can see where they slot in. So I'll give you some of the current grade that we know that are definitely not in the top 10.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is all time,
Well, yeah, you're gonna go for all-time points. Okay. So it's
but all drivers,
all drivers throughout
all
Formula One.
years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
So, but I'll tell you right now, we have Franco Colapinto, who's at 274 with 4 points. Ollie Behrman, who's got 7 points at 248. Zhao, who's got 12 points, makes it into breaks the top 200 at 188.
Yeah, his 12 points are from like last year.
Yeah, but you think about it, like Yuki is 93 with 83 points. So not a lot of people get a lot of points. And then we're also
Right.
talking about, old systems of points in the old ones.
Right.
Like, you could have come in fifth 5 races in a row and you're
And not
still at like 5 points.
yeah.
Magnussen has 192 at spot 59, 52 with Alex Albon at 240 points. I didn't realize Albon actually had 240 points, actually. Lance Stroll at 37 with 292 points.
Lance Stroll, his number is 37?
It's 37. He breaks the top 50 drivers, top 40. And I mean, the majority of his points, well, I wouldn't say the majority of his points, but a lot of them came from very good finishes last year when they were very good.
Right.
Oscar, 334 points at spot 33. Spot 28, Pierre Gasly with 402 points. Spot 25, Esteban Ocon with 427. And I will leave you at spot 25. I will not say the rest.
Okay.
Okay. So I want you to give me, and I'll go through the other ones that we have here. Some famous ones, not a lot of famous ones, but anyways. Oops, I moved the wrong screen. But yeah, so if you want to give me the top 10, you don't have to give me in any order. I don't care. I will tell you where they are.
Okay, so I just have to do the top 10 or try to. Okay. Schumacher's got to be there.
Schumacher is there, and you would probably be surprised to see that Schumacher is at number 9. Number 9.
Lewis has got to be there.
Lewis is number 1, so you're good. There you go. You got number 9 and number 1.
Max.
Max is there at number 3.
Fangio, but I don't know, like
Fangio is not on there.
Okay, because points would
those are old points, so he's probably not going to, like a lot of those old, out of the new system, probably not going to be on there.
Okay, you said Schumacher's number 9.
Yes.
How many points is number 9?
Oh, you're gonna make me do some work here. Yeah. Should I tell you that? Okay, I'll tell you that. 1,566.
Oh. Jeez.
Did it make it worse for you?
Yeah. A lot worse. Button?
Nope.
Charles?
No, Leclerc is not on there.
Oh my God. Alonso.
Alonso is there at number 4.
Okay. So I've gotten 3.
4.
No, I've gotten 4.
Yeah.
Brundle's not there.
Brundle is not there.
Damon Hill?
Damon Hill's not there here.
Oh!
This is terrible.
This is awful. Senna. Senna has to be there.
Senna is not there.
I guess he didn't race like that many years. Prost.
Prost is not there.
Okay. What is going on? Okay, I need to get 5 at least.
You suck at this.
I need to get 5 at least. Vettel. Vettel has to be.
Vettel is number 2.
Okay. So we have Lewis.
You have the top 4. You got Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, Alonso, and then number 9, Schumacher. So you're missing 5 to 8 and number 10.
Ralph isn't there.
Ralph Schumacher.
Ralph isn't there.
Just log off right now.
No, he can't be there.
He is not. Okay. He's not.
No, I don't know who else there would. It's going to be like obvious. Rosberg?
Rosberg is there at number 8.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize he got that many points.
More than Schumacher.
Bottas?
Bottas is there at number 6.
Okay. Now we're
starting to see a theme there.
Mercedes?
No. You're obviously not starting to see the theme.
I was like,
This is sometimes an audio only podcast, so just walk through your mental process.
I was like,
and just quiet.
Okay, so how many do I have? I have 7.
You have 7.
I don't know. I think no, Sainz is not there.
Sainz is not there.
Sainz is not there.
Sainz is in number 13 with 1170.
Oh, he's not that far behind.
With 1172 and a half points.
How do you get a half point?
My guess is that when they cut the points in half, because you've only done half a race or 75% of a half, I'm guessing he was one of the ones that was in the half.
Gotcha.
That's my guess. I don't know.
Okay, I think I give up. I got 70%.
You think you give up? You're not even sure about that.
I've got 70%.
Think about it. It's all in a new-ish era. There are quite a bit. You have seen the last 3 drive. You have been around to watch them drive.
I've been around. I'm so young.
Well, I meant around watching F1.
Yeah. Daniel,
number 10.
Oh, okay. Who else? Daniel Ricciardo, right?
Yes. Who's the other Daniel?
Kvyat.
Please. Even last in F1.
And I know the other 2.
You know the other 2.
Sure.
Yeah. One is currently racing. The other one is no longer racing.
I said Vettel.
You said Vettel.
No, I don't know.
Who was his teammate?
When?
I can't make it that obvious, can I?
It would be sad if I still don't get it. So don't make it obvious.
How do I not make it obvious? It's almost like he's Piastri's
mentor. Oh, Mark Webber.
Mentor. I thought I made it so easy.
And Piastri's mentor?
Yeah, like his personality mentor.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Okay, I give up now. This is just torturous.
This is torturous.
Should I just tell you?
Yes, please.
Number 7, you're going to kick yourself. Perez.
Really? He has that many points?
Perez has 1,630 points.
Wow.
I mean, he got 300 last year.
Fair.
And the last one was the Iceman. You don't even know his nickname.
Yeah, I'm like, who are you talking about?
Kimi Räikkönen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Totally forgot about him.
Totally. Obviously. You forgot he
Forgot
existed.
about, yeah. Interesting.
Of the rest of the current grid, we have Nico Hulkenberg, who's at 554, George Russell, who's at 624, Lando Norris at 912. This also was from like September, so there's like a couple extra points in here.
Yeah.
Carlos Sainz in 13th with 1172, and Charles Leclerc in 11th with 1319.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's a lot of points. And then how much does Lewis have in number one?
4,000. Where is it here? 4,813 and a half, with Vettel coming in a close second at 3,098. Not a close second. 1,800 points up on Sebastian Vettel.
Jeez.
And Max, this is from September, so he hasn't crossed the 3,000 threshold yet because he had 2,917.5. So he shouldn't have passed that 3,000 threshold yet.
Okay. Well, I mean,
since
I got 80%. Okay.
That was not a passing grade in my opinion. Jeez. I don't even know if I want to go on to the next one. Ooh, if we were gonna do who has the most wins in F1,
save that.
We'll save it because I don't want to have to go through this again. Right now, I don't have the patience for it.
You don't have the patience for me.
This is a harder. Maybe it isn't a harder list. Maybe it's not.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, next time.
We'll save it for next time.
There's always next time. And
we're out.
And that's it.
Cut the lights.
So, that's our episode for this week. Again, just some news, some updates, and a little bit of a game. Me failing at a game. Apparently 80 is not a passing grade anymore.
Not when the list is everybody you've watched.
This is true. We will be back with more games, more news, more updates next week because, again, there's no race next week. But in the meantime, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, X, which is formerly Twitter, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, at Fresh Set Podcast on all of those platforms. All of those platforms. And
we can't be sued by F1 because we don't have F1 in the name.
This is correct.
I might have to change the logo, but
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
There's always next season.
Yeah.
But like, comment, subscribe, share, rate, follow. Did I say follow? Just follow again.
Thumbs up, share it. Yeah, you said share.
Yes, all that. And we will be back next week.
Yep. Grab a fresh set.
Bye.